Hi, everybody. Welcome back to that Eurovision site. As you can see, we are once again continuing on with our Mello interviews. And as you can see, I'm joined by the lovely Jay Smith. As you can see, he's
Uh,
just having a bit of a
yeah,
uh,
well, I'm an old man. Like, these technical things isn't really my thing. Uh, but I'm not really getting why this. Oh, here we go.
yeah.
No.
Here you go. We got there in the end. How are you, Jay?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm very, very excited. Okay, you know what? You know what? Let's just start this interview with a quick icebreaker. I just wanted to ask you, what's one thing about yourself that not many people know about?
Oh, um, I guess that I'm not the kind of the Eurovision type kind. I
Hmm.
guess. Well, I think most people in Sweden know that, but since we're talking in English, I guess a lot of people not in Sweden is going to watch this. So I think that's one of the things. I'm not the typical
Hmm.
Eurovision kind of artist.
Okay. All right. And obviously, we've just met literally a couple of seconds ago. So, and for the Eurovision fans who are not don't know of who you are, I just wanted to give you a chance to introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about your music.
My name is Jay Smith. I play country music with a little bit of rock and roll and blues and uh, entwined in it, I guess.
Hmm.
I wrote the song with my sister and
Hmm.
her bandmates, and we sent it into Eurovision, and uh, we got accepted.
Okay, then. So, obviously, out of the lots of people that are, been selected for it, I was saying because you said you're not the usual type of artist for Eurovision. How does it feel to be in that position, to be in the running for it, to represent
Well,
Sweden?
um, it's it's exciting. It's a whole thing. The last couple of 10 years, I think I've been just touring around Sweden with a acoustic guitar, and now it's a whole circus kind of thing around it. So
Hmm.
it's definitely different.
Okay. All right, then. So now the reason why we're here, because you're obviously participating in Mello next week at the time of recording with Back to My Roots. I know you've talked
Yeah.
about you co-wrote it with your siblings. I just wanted to ask you, what was the experience like recording it and what's the message of the song? Because at the time I actually don't know what the song is about.
The song is about basically if how to get up when you fall.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's not about when you fall; it's how you get up. I think. You know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And obviously, we're not that far away from Mello next week.
No.
Yeah, how are the preparations going, and is there anything you can tell us about your performance?
Uh, well, there's a lot of vocals in the song, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot of time to uh, walk around on stage and do any dance steps or anything like that because I have to focus on singing. So I think the preparations for that has been going
Mm-hmm.
over the song with the choreographer and trying to find the few seconds there is for me to do anything else than just sing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
finding the camera and making it. I think the performance is going to be a little bit more like a regular sort of band concert.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be a typical mellow sort of performance. I think. You know.
Okay, then.
Uh, at least that's what I think. I don't. I haven't really watched Mello
Mm-hmm.
the last 25 years. So, but what I've seen is that mostly it has a a lot of choreography, a lot of
Mhm.
dancing, a lot of stuff like that. But this song is very intense, especially on the vocals. So
Yeah.
there's not going to be a lot of room for that.
Okay then. All right. Then so moving on, obviously I wanted to ask you, like, I know you've said a message of the song, but like if you when the audience and the viewers see you perform the song on next week, I was saying, what
Yeah.
message did you want to send to them when they're watching this?
Uh, I try not to get caught up in stuff like that because everything is in the eyes of the beholder, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, whatever message I want to try and put out, and whatever thing I want to make them feel, they're going to probably feel the way they want to feel and how they want to perceive it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to concentrate on doing the best that I can, and
Mm-hmm.
all the interpretations and all the feelings that people feel be theirs to
Mm-hmm.
make whatever they want out of it.
Okay. All right then. Okay. I wanted to ask you because obviously you've done a similar competition. You've done Idol before,
Yeah.
and I was just wondering, do you think doing that has helped you with doing Mello, or do you think it's a completely different landscape, do you think?
No, I think they're fairly similar.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I think when it comes to being having anxiety, being on that big stage in front of a lot of cameras and stuff, but at least I have the experience of having done it before, and
Mm-hmm.
I know I can do it when I get there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in terms of how they're different is sort of like when you're doing Idol, it's a weekly show for a couple of months, and you're in a bubble. Here, it's basically one performance, 1 week of work. There's a lot of work that goes into everything around it for a long
Mm-hmm.
time before, but that is, when you do Idol, you go in there as someone unknown, and you try to make your mark as maybe an artist that people will want to see in the years to come. And in Mello, I got the opportunity to come in as an already sort of an established artist already. So you go in and I think you're thinking about your performance more in terms of how a bit more for yourself than
Mm-hmm.
trying to get people to know you. You know,
Yeah. Looking
so
back at it, yes.
yeah, it's sort of I don't know. It's different in that way,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of stuff going around. In the background, you're recording new songs. You're trying to
Mm-hmm.
get stuff out. You're trying to um, see if you can get the song on the radio. Live shows in the summer and all that stuff. So I think
Mm-hmm.
it's in that way, it's a very different thing.
Yeah.
Uh, but when it comes to the performance, when it comes to being up on stage in front of all those cameras, at least you've done it before.
Yeah. Okay, looking back at it, like obviously like I actually scoured through your Idol performance. Do you have a which one stood out to you the most when you participated in Idol?
Um, I think it's a weird one actually. I think the one that stands out in my mind is when I sang the Elvis song, and it's I think it's because when you're doing
Hmm.
arena shows and you've never
Hmm.
done that before, and you wanted to do it your entire life, and
Hmm.
but when you get there, you're only doing one song, and everything is hyper focused on what you're doing,
Hmm.
catching the cameras, all that stuff, and then there's lighting and the sound. Everything is very sort of intense, and you can only see about I don't know 6 or 7 rows back, and you don't really get the feeling that you're standing in front of all those people. But when I did the Elvis song, I got to sit down. Mind you, I'd always said that yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things you shouldn't do, and it's an Elvis song and a Michael Jackson song because you can't top that no
Hmm.
matter what you do. Uh, but they wanted me to do Elvis, and I tried to do it justice. And I got to sit down, and the lights were dimmer, and all of a sudden people took out their phones and their glow sticks and all that, and you could see all the way to the back. And that was the first time it sort of felt like you were actually doing it in front of a really big audience, and that was cool.
Hmm. Okay. All right then. Well, one of my final questions to you is obviously, the if you do end up winning Mello, you could potentially represent Sweden on home turf.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you, how does that sit with you as an artist?
Going into this, winning Mellow really wasn't the goal, and it's probably because I think maybe the song isn't. I think it's a really good song. It's just that it might not be, um, the stuff that eventually turns out to be one of the. It just doesn't feel to me like the song that would be representing Sweden in the Eurovision. But if it were to happen, if people would eventually vote me up to be the winner,
Mhm.
I would accept it graciously and I would do my absolute best.
Okay. All right then. Moving on, I wanted to ask you about your music because obviously when you will get an audience that, of course, listen to Back to My Roots and they do end up liking it. If
Yeah,
after the mellow performance, what song of yours should they listen to next?
that's a tough question. Well, I think I think the Mellow people from Swedish TV made a good choice when they put the my song 10 feet off the ground as the one. There's a like a Mellow wiki in
Mhm.
Sweden for all the artists that are there this year, and all the artists have one song that sort of like represents them,
Yeah.
and that's the song that got chosen for this. And I think maybe it's a it's kind of a mellow song, and I think maybe that's the one that people should
Hmm.
check out first because that's probably more in the wheelhouse
Hmm.
of Back to My Roots. Kind of a poppy kind of a country song.
All right. Okay then. And looking at it, I'm guessing after Mellow, we can expect more music from your end.
Yeah, I'm recording right now, and I'm when I get up to Stockholm next week, I'm going to have a couple of demos with me for the label, and we will just have to see if they like it.
Okay then. And my final question to you is, looking all this stuff that you've done for Mello this year, I just wanted to ask you, what was the one thing that you've learned from this experience and this like journey, Mello journey that you'll take with you, regardless of the result next week?
Well, I kind of realised that it's growing up in Sweden, Mello was we call it Schlager in Sweden. It was a unique genre of music, and up until a couple of years ago, I think that's what people and I perceived Mello to be about, and it's I think it's what I've learned is it's changed a lot. It doesn't have to do all that much with genre anymore. It's just it's a music competition, and
Hmm.
you get your chance as an artist to get a bigger platform and have a chance to have people check out your music that wouldn't um, naturally have the chance
Hmm.
if you didn't, and that was cool.
Yeah, it's certainly changed like a lot in
Yeah,
for the past few years. So, it's not just Schlager anymore. It's like it's open for everybody, basically.
no, that's cool. I think um, the trends the last 20 years have been song programs like Idol and
Mhm.
Think You Got Talent and all that stuff. It's called kind of like um, reality TV, and this is more like a regular music competition.
Mhm.
I think that's cool. I think we could use more of that because there's a lot of people that don't have the time
Mhm.
or the energy to find new music and new artists. They have a lot to do in their lives. They work, have kids, and all that stuff. But they watch TV every once in a while, especially during the weekends. Um, it's cool to be able to reach those people.
Yeah. Okay, then. Well, that naturally takes us to the end of this interview. I'd like to thank Jay so much for his time. But before we go, is there anything you want to say to the international viewers who will be watching Mello and your performance next week?
Hope you like it. I'm going to do my absolute best, and hope we will have fun.
All right, then. Well, thank thank you so much, Jay. And all I have to say is Lycka och tack så mycket for next
Tack så
weekend
mycket.
and wishing you the best of luck.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.